Mark, and today I have a question for you. What are some healthy ways that you get rid of stress? What are some healthy ways that you process stress? What do you do when you're stressed out and you need some type of outlet, some type of healthy way to get that you do, one or two things that you might repeat on a weekly basis to get rid of stress. All right. So today on Lunchtime Logic, I got an email from a guy at coachmark22 at gmail.com. Father of three, helps take care of his mother. He has a couple issues regarding stress and he just wants some help trying to figure out ways to alleviate the stress or have an outlet, right? So, young man, he has a couple kids. He's taking care of his sick mother as well, right? Has a full-time job, takes care of his home, and it seems as though everybody's stress outlet is him. Everybody comes to him with their problems, right? And he used to enjoy that when he was younger, but it seems like now it's just compounding. Like it used to be three people that came to him. Now it's four, right? Now it's five. And now he doesn't seem to, when he has stress or when he's stressed out about things, he doesn't seem to be able to get rid of it, right? He doesn't have a healthy outlet to get rid of stress. So he's feeling like he needs some answers on how to get to some healthy and consistent ways to let go of stress or get rid of stress or even process the stress, right? He said that he will sometimes watch TV, he will binge eat, he will also like take naps or just sleep longer, and that doesn't seem to help. Seems like when he gets done with that, none of the problems have been solved, nothing has been done. Seems like he just still has the same issues, right? So he's just looking for a way to, a healthy way to process stress a little bit better and deal with the stress that people bring on him along with his own. All right. So this is Lunchtime Logic. I am your guy, Coach Mark. Okay. Now, why is this called Lunchtime Logic, guys? Because in most places of the world, well, not I don't let me not say that. On the East Coast, it's lunchtime. And so I'm going to enjoy my lunch and we're going to give somebody some advice who needs it, man, who's on a health and fitness journey, who needs a little bit of advice. So today, guys, sort of a pasta bowl. I wouldn't really call it a pasta bowl. I have some angel hair pasta, about 1 cup, 6 ounces of canned tuna, and I have 10 ounces of chicken. Okay, 10 ounces of chicken, grilled chicken, that is. Okay, not fried chicken. I have an issue with fried food, guys. With fried food, well, I don't have an issue. It doesn't do well for me. Um, I hold on, guys, high amounts of sodium, so it makes me hold on to a lot of water. So fried foods, I've been like consciously trying to avoid them, even on cheat days, even at cookouts, even at events. I've been trying to just get away from the fried foods, man. So if they have a grilled option, I'll get two helpings of that instead of getting the fried option. And sometimes, you miss out on some tasty things. Like I don't want to act like it's not real. But we got to identify our problem areas, man, and try to eliminate them as much as we can. So that's me. So the reason why I share my lunch with you guys is because I want you to know that I am a real person just like you. I have hunger pains just like you. I like to eat just like you, okay? Often, all right? And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. The biggest change I made over the last 3 years, last 3 to 3.5 years, is my choice of foods. We're all gonna eat lunch today, guys. We're all gonna eat lunch today. It's pretty much, what are you gonna eat? We're all gonna eat dinner. What are you gonna eat? Those of us who count our calories and we track our food, we eat as much or more than you. And a lot of times more often throughout the day than you. We just don't snack in between. So we eat more meals. So I'll eat 4 of these bowls today. On a very long day, I might eat 5. But the macronutrients that I consume from these bowls feed my necessary parts so that I can work out, I can walk, I can sleep well, I can get up, I can do it again. I drink a ton of water. Guys, so it's literally the choices that we make. We're all going to eat today. It's just choosing better and planning ahead a little bit. We got to plan ahead on the weekends. Me and my wife, we cook so that we have things available throughout the week, and now we don't have to make these last second decisions when we're out and about, because we know that doesn't turn out too good. All right, so lunchtime logic, guys. I'm going to enjoy my lunch. Hopefully you're able to enjoy a meal as well. and I get to one of the letters that people write me, just asking for advice, man. And that's what we do. All right. So hope you enjoy. Hope you come back for more tomorrow and the next day. All right. So my man Tim, mid-40s, has kids, deals with a lot of stress between kids, job, taking care of mom. You know, one thing I can say, Tim, from the door, you know, when you're a man, we have to have outlets. Have to. There is no, oh, I want to. There is no, I should. Maybe next year when I have more time. No, we have to. Because when we don't, we just take on more and more and more, because it's our nature to take care of the people around us, okay? It's our nature to help those who need helped, to protect those who need protected. So when you have children, and you have a partner, and then you have a mother, a father who's getting older, and you have to do certain things for people, we end up taking in so much responsibility. It starts to stress us out, even if we can handle it. Well, for instance, if someone says, I need $100, even if you have the $100 to give them, it's stressful making sure they get it. Now you're worried about, did they take care of the thing they were supposed to take care of? Are they going to need it again? Right? So now you've just taken on some of the undue stress. Okay. Taking care of a sick father or mother, very stressful. Anything like me or anyone else, they're older and you're trying to care for people who have cared for you. So you feel like you owe them. But most of our parents are stubborn at a certain age, and so they don't always follow direction. So you bounce back and forth between putting them in a facility that they can be properly cared for, or keeping them at your house, or keeping them at their house where they're more comfortable. Even that decision-making process will stress you out. So you also talked about you being the person that everybody comes to with their problems. And some people would say, well, it's not your problem, so why do you care so much? Well, you care about the people. So even if you try not to care about the problem, you still care about the person. So therefore, when they come to you and tell you that they're having a problem, it still affects you. At some point, you feel like you need to solve it for them. Like you might even be more stressed out about it than they are. It happens a lot, okay? Cortisol is a real thing. When our cortisol levels are high, bro, we have to bring them down eventually, right? It's a great hormone for us to have because it lets us know that we gotta stay alert, and we gotta be on the lookout, and we gotta make something happen, right? To get to perhaps safety, or get some food, or protect someone else, right? But if it's high it wasn't meant to be high all the time. Our cortisol was not meant to be high all the time. So if your stress is high all the time, bro, and you don't have an outlet to release the stress and the pressure, it will build up inside of you. And you will not be able to operate properly, fam. Right? So, you mentioned watching TV, kind of binge eating, and or taking a lot of naps or sleeping to try to help cope with times that you're stressed out. And you said when it's over, it seems like, you know, you haven't really come to any solutions. Because, bro, you can't fix stress with entertainment. You can't. And we try to do it. We've tried to do it for decades, bro. I used to try to do it all the time. Oh, I'm stressed out about work. I'm just going to go to the bar after work. Yeah, you might forget about work for 3 hours, bro. But as soon as you're done at the bar, you have to face the reality that you got to still go back to that place tomorrow. You have to go back to that place tomorrow, man. So entertainment does not fix stress. We have people that actually believe it. And what they don't realize, it doesn't fix it. It puts a Band-Aid on it. You just forget about it for a teeny bit of time. But it never goes away. So what we'll try to do is just pack our days with more and more entertainment. Scrolling on social media, watching TV, being involved with certain apps, groups. We'll drink, we'll gamble, we'll watch sports. And I'm not saying all those things are negative, bro. But if we're using them to cope with stress, it's not effective. These things are supposed to be purely entertainment, bro, not stress relief. It seems like you realize that, though. It seems like you know that it's not really helping my stress and not solving none of these problems. So what are the solutions to some of your problems? Now, you didn't say anything about working out. I would imagine you do, because most people on this channel, they work out some, okay? So for me to tell you that you should start working out, you should start running, you should start strength training, you should start getting in the sauna, you should start meditating, that's a very run-of-the-mill answer. Very run-of-the-mill. Because I got to be honest with you. Well, working out does relieve stress, and it does lower our cortisol, right? But it's kind of like the entertainment piece. It's for that time period, and it may last a little bit right afterwards. So strength training, let's just say you get done, bro, you feel much better about yourself, and be honest with you, and it lingers. And over time, do you feel better about yourself? Yes, you do. Do you feel more secure with yourself? Yes, you do. Are you more confident? Yes, you are. But does it automatically solve these outside issues that we have? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Meditation doesn't solve the outside issues we have. It helps us cope with them. So, any client who comes to me and say they're stressed out with issues and problems or people or places or things, I tell them, listen, before we start training, let's take care of these issues. Because they're going to get in the way of your ability to be focused on your health and fitness. So, bro, I could tell you to get in the gym. I could tell you, let's lose some pounds. I could tell you, let's start swimming on the weekends. But if you haven't dealt with the stress, if you haven't dealt with a few things that's going on with you, you're not going to show up. And if you show up, you're not going to be your best. So let's tackle each issue. You said something about having kids and you're a little stressed out with things that go on with your kids. That's the one thing I don't have a necessary solution to right away, right? Because these are human beings that you have to care for, but you can't necessarily control their movements. So they're going to get into situations that stress you out. And when they're not getting in situations that stress you out, you're still stressed out because you worry. I have a 20-year-old. He's bigger than me. I worry about him. Okay? I have a 26-year-old. He's also bigger than me. I also worry about him. So the stress from your kids, I don't know that ever all the way leaves you, right? Because there's always things that can happen to them, and you're used to being able to protect them, and that's harder to deal with. Now, if we're talking behavior problems, problems with their education, yes, obviously you have to fix that because it doesn't go away, right? And I will say with the kids that when we don't get them out of situations, or we don't attack their behavior issues, we don't make sure that they're getting the best education possible, that leads to bigger issues down the road as they become young adults. So you take care of a sick parent, and that can be tough because you don't want them to be sick. You don't want them to grow old. You don't want them to pass on. But one thing that we all have to realize, bro, is in our 40s and 50s is that Most of our parents are like in their 70s, bro. It's coming. And they may have taken great care of you, but let's be honest, a lot of them didn't take great care of themselves. Right? When we start thinking back to what our parents did, and this is a hard thing to do, but we have to hold them accountable the same way we hold our kids accountable, the same way we hold ourselves or our friends accountable. A lot of you would say, oh, my dad smoked cigars all my life, but I feel really bad he has emphysema. He smoked cigars all his life. If you smoke cigars all your life, you're going to end up with emphysema. So they're our loved one, they're our parent, and we don't want to see them go through anything. But we have to accept that a lot of them are going through these issues because of choices that they made on a daily, weekly, monthly basis all their lives, or their adult lives. Normally that's the case, bro. Whether it's eating, whether it's lack of movement, whether it's vices, most of the time, bro, our parents, poured into whatever their outcome is right now. Now, some are just old age. It's just old age. Things just come on. 80s and 90s. But we're talking, some of you guys got parents who are 68 and they're dealing with a major issue. And most of it has to do with they didn't take care of themselves. So realize and recognize that, bro, and that you didn't have an option in that. You weren't with them when they smoked the cigars. You weren't with them when they drank the liquor. You weren't. You had nothing to do with the fact that they decided to not exercise and not move. That wasn't your fault. Also, you probably can't do anything about her condition. Bro, you probably can't. You would love to, and I would love for you to, but you probably can't. We want to do something about our parents' condition, but we don't run the universe, bro. You most likely you can't cure them. So not only are you not responsible for the position that they may or may not have put themselves in, you also can't cure them. And when we come to grips with that, man, I'm telling you, when you come to grips with something like that, and you realize, man, I've done my best, and I'm going to continue to do my best, but I also can't reverse the condition. And I'm also not responsible for the condition. That alleviates a lot of stress in itself. You could still show up for 100% every day, brother. But you don't have to feel like you're the person that caused it. And that because they were busy taking care of you, that they weren't able to take care of themselves, brother. Because, trust me, in 1980, there were 24 hours in a day just like there are now. I know, we saw our parents work pretty hard, bro. But they had 24 hours in a day just like we do, okay? Now, you talked about you being everyone's outlet. Or you being the person everybody comes to when they're stressed out, when they have problems. Okay. Bro, there's nothing wrong with that. What the problem is, if you're a very caring individual, if you care for these people that you're talking to on a regular basis, man, when they come to you with the problems, you now take in their problems. And you're now worried about what's going on with them. These are people you love, most likely, right? But when a man has a family, bro, we have a duty to our family. And then the outside adults, we can try to help them as much as possible. But we can only do but so much, because if helping them prohibits us from showing up 100% for our children and our family, right? Then it's to our detriment, and we don't want that. Let's say the person that's calling you for $100 is very near and dear to you, okay? These are adults. So I'm going to tell you like I told you with your mother. You're not the reason why they need the $100. Like, you didn't do anything to them to prohibit them from being able to make the $100. You also weren't there when they were making choices to spend their money frivolously and or bring on more expenses that they could not handle. Because again, these people have 24 hours in their day. These people have control and dominion over their finances. These people have choices to make every day just like you do. When you choose to get up and go to work every day, they have the choice to make as well. When you choose to be there on time, they choose to do that as well. When they stop and get cigarettes or get beer or get liquor or spend money on clothes or vacations or shows, you have the option to do that too. The problem is we forget about all those choices and actions when these people are in need. So then we take on the stress and we feel as though if we can't come through for them, we're not being a true friend. You are a husband first, a dad second, a son third probably. Then you're a friend. It can't be the other way around, brother. Because the people that I named first, they really, really need you. These other people, they may need you from time to time, but they also have partners, children, parents, so on and so forth, right? They have support systems. So you have to realize that you are not responsible for that person who needs you all the time or has a problem and wants to bounce it off you to see what's going on, see if you have an opinion, or to see if you can fix it. You're not necessarily responsible for coming up with the solution, bro. Sometimes, bro, and it hurts to say this, but you got to say, hey, fam, I'm really sorry you're going through this. I wish I could help, but I got a lot going on right now. We're sometimes picking up the phone for people, bro, that every time we talk to them, they got an issue. Every time you talk to them, they got some type of life-threatening issue. And we keep picking up the phone for them. We keep picking up the phone. Bro, I've talked about this with many different subscribers about separating themselves and limiting interaction with people who constantly bring us down. Just limiting the interaction. So let's say it's someone that contacts you 3 times a week. What's wrong with limiting the interaction to once a week? Whatever is going on with them, it can wait till the one time you guys talk. I don't think we understand how much that negative person or that always immersed in negativity person is to our lives. Like we don't realize how much of a hindrance they are. That person that's always in a battle or a debate with somebody, who's always going through it with their co-parent, the person that's always having financial struggles, the person that can't stay out of jail, the person that's always having car trouble. Every time you talk to that person, there's something going on. And what ends up happening is, man, again, because you love that person, you end up taking on their issues, not realizing that, bro, their entire life is chaotic. There's a couple people you talk to, bro, that their entire life is unorganized, their entire life is chaotic, their entire life is last minute, their entire life is an emergency. So when you talk to them, because your life is not chaotic, because every event in your life is not an emergency, when they come to you with something like that, it now becomes an emergency for you. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe your car didn't start today. Bro, something like that goes on with their lives every day. Every single day. It's just they choose to call you once in a while. You have to limit your interaction with these people who look to you for solutions to problems that they create. You're not creating the problems, but you are the person that then becomes the solution. And you have to be okay with the fact that you can't solve everybody's problems. It's stressing you out. I guarantee, and I want you to do this when we're done. Take out, hey, this is very simple, man. I like pen to paper, homie. Piece of paper, get a pen. Everything that's stressing you, write it down. And I mean everything. It could be there's too many flies in your house. Write it down. Then start putting an X beside all the items that you did not create. That you had no ability to stop. That you had no hand in the creation of. And then look at that list again. So now you have a more narrow list that you can attack. Because the things that you didn't create, that you had no hand in, bro, most likely them problems you can't solve. And if you solve it this time, guess what? The people who created it gonna create another one just like it. The people who always have problems, bro, they create more problems every day by how they live their lives. That's normally what goes on. Write that list down, bro. And you got to start seeing who, what, where, and why is the reason why you're going through all this stress. Because, bro, if you don't eliminate, I could tell you, again, breathing techniques. I could tell you a yoga class twice a week, bro. You should meditate 3 times a day. You should take walks. You should eat better. You should sleep better. If you don't deal with the root of the cause, bro, the root of the problems is all these people that are coming to you with their problems. The fact that you feel responsible for your mom. The fact that if your kids are having problems in school, we need to tighten up. We need to tighten up on the behavior, on the consequences. There's changes to be made, bro. You just haven't started to make them yet. You haven't taken the steps to make the changes yet. But as soon as you do, you'll start to see a change. But I guarantee you, you write out that list. Half of the things you're stressing about, you didn't create. Guaranteed. And then and only then, bro, can you now say, okay, I'm going to take a brief 10-minute walk 3 times a day outdoors, no matter how hot or cold it is. I'm also going to meditate attached to that walk. I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes before that walk. I'm then going to work out every other day for 40 minutes in my backyard, my garage, my driveway. I'm then going to, you know what, find a couple meals on Pinterest that heavy in protein, a little bit lower on the carbs. I'm going to prepare a bunch of those meals and see if I can just eat those throughout the week. That's when you attack all that. But bro, I'm telling you, it's going to be too hard for you to do if you're letting all these outside situations frustrate and stress you out. Bro, I'm telling you, the solution to most of our problems is removal. Removal of some sort, something. It's really, really weird. But I'm telling you, removal. Most of the problems I have in life, bro, something gets removed. And I no longer, because I'm trying to find something to add to soothe the issue. It's like having a headache and we're taking ibuprofen, but we keep banging our head on the wall. That's what's causing the headache. So a lot of times we need to just stop going into that room that makes us bang our head on the wall, and we won't have the headache in the first place. All right? That was a really good submission, bro, because men internalize stress so much, and we feel like we're just supposed to deal with it all the time, and we're supposed to be responsible for everybody's problems, and we have to help everyone close to us, and if not, we're less of a man. Bro, your priority is your children and your partner, first and foremost, because every other adult has the ability to create their own family. So even those grown adults that say, I don't need no partner, they have the ability to get a partner if they wanted to, and they would have support as well. So I think you have too much responsibility attached to other people's problems. And for those of you watching or listening, we got to realize what problems that we actually had a hand in and which ones we didn't. And as far as stress is concerned, let's try not letting it build up. We talk about stress release all the time, but if I have a hose and I'm pouring it into a bucket, and then every half an hour I dump this heavy bucket, it's great, but if I just find a way to cut the hose off, I wouldn't have to go through the struggle of dumping the bucket. You understand? So that's from me to you guys, all right? This is your boy, Coach Mark. If you have an email just like the young man Tim, please email me at coachmark with a C 22 at gmail.com, all right? That is Coach Mark with a C 22 at gmail.com. This is Lunchtime Logic. Also, if you are someone like Tim and you need some coaching in the way of your health and wellness, you need someone to speak with every day, perhaps someone to guide you through some workouts, some breathing techniques, right? Just ways for you to get better with your nutrition, your lifestyle, your transformation. Go in the about page of my YouTube page and click the link to schedule a free one-on-one consultation. All right, it'll be 30 minutes, no charge, and we'll figure out if we're a good fit. All right, so this is your guy. Mark my words. I'll see you guys tomorrow.